We know that Elon Musk revealed the names of his co-investors who helped him raise that $7 billion in funding for his Twitter buyout, as well as announcing the name of a CEO. For more on this move, let's bring in Yahoo Finance's Dan Howley. So starting with these investors, who's on that list?
Yeah, we have Larry Ellison, probably one of the biggest names on this list. We also have a Saudi investment, and then Binance actually is jumping in there. And basically what this means is that Elon Musk has essentially cut down the amount of money that he needs on his margin loan from $12.5 billion to $6.25 billion. And that's huge for him, obviously, though it's still going to be a bear for Tesla shareholders. They're going to look at that and say, maybe don't Elon. But I think the bigger thing here is that news that he's going to reportedly be the interim CEO when he takes over, if he takes over. This isn't a done deal by any stretch of the imagination yet, but that would lead me to believe that he would be perhaps holding that position for potentially some time because he wants to make significant changes to this social network that you haven't seen from it in quite a while. He's talking about opening up speech. He's talking about at some point going away from advertising. He seems to just be spitballing with what he wants to do here, though. The big thing is the edit button, which Twitter is already doing, and then that free speech aspect. But he's also talked about things as far as, not leaning on advertising as much, not even caring about how much revenue it brings in. And then now we see the reports, obviously, of the company going public again afterwards or after they go private. So there really isn't a clear idea as to what he wants to do. And so if he's the interim CEO there, maybe he can give a better look. But if you're a Tesla shareholder, you got to be kind of biting your fingernails at this point, thinking, when is he going to get back to Tesla, or how much attention is he still going to be able to pay to Tesla as we're waiting for a few vehicles to come out.
Well, Dan, how do you think that's going to be received? You're laying out some of the changes that Elon Musk wants to make to Twitter. Obviously, if he takes it private, he's not as worried about or isn't worried about shareholders. But in the tech world, are they excited about this? Do they think he is possibly the right person for this job? I mean,
look, I think it's a mixture. It's, some people do love Elon Musk. I think when it comes to Jack Dorsey, huge fan. They're basically they're bros. They're like that, right? But I think when it comes to other social networks, Facebook, sure, Mark Zuckerberg isn't excited about that. Snap, I'm sure, people over there aren't happy. I think basically what it comes down to is there are people in Silicon Valley who are very much of the same mindset as Elon Musk, and there are others who are not. The main through line between Twitter and Facebook really is Peter Thiel. He apparently was one of the forces behind Elon Musk looking for this takeover. He was also obviously a board member for Facebook. So you got to imagine that he's playing both sides of the fence here now.
Well, speaking of Facebook, and since you brought it up, I want to bring up a headline that's caught our attention this morning, and that's Meta. So plans, I guess, there's a leaked memo. Meta might be pulling back on its hiring. Any idea? Obviously, the company has been struggling pretty significantly since the start of the year. But why do you think now they are deciding to pause hiring?
Well, look, I think they saw that positive reaction that people had when they announced their earnings recently, saying that they're going to be pulling back on spending. That's just because of how much they're dumping into this metaverse idea, and the idea that the metaverse isn't going to be paying off for some time. So I think when they realized that investors were looking at that and saying, look, we need some kind of reassurance that you're not just betting the house on this idea of this nebulous metaverse. You're going to be doing something a little bit more than just that. I think they realized, okay, we have to pull back that spending, so we're going to stop hiring as much now. But I mean, the metaverse is still there. That's the big thing for them. Next, do you know anybody that really is excited about a metaverse besides investors? I don't know.
That's a good point. All right, Dan Howley, thanks so much again.